go on to part 2, which is like my active labor when I got admitted to the hospital. So, as I said, I was about 2.5 to 3 centimeters dilated when I got to the hospital. They ended up putting in my IV, which I'll show you. I have this horrible bruise. I don't know if you can see that. This horrible bruise on my arm because she ended up blowing my vein out the first time she tried to put the IV in. She was really, really apologetic, and she ended up getting it on my other arm.
Kristen's in labor. Like real-time labor. Real labor. Puke bag. Got some IVs and stuff in her arm. Smile. Hee ouch. It's 5 a.m. 5:30 a.m.
5:42.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong hand. I don't know how to read analog clocks anymore because I'm part of the future. Cool.
I'm really tired.
Yeah. You didn't sleep at all last night because of contractions over and over and over again. That was fun.
At this point, I was really, really, really nauseous. So I asked for some Zofran, and they gave me that through my IV. I did end up throwing up a little bit, kind of in the triage area, kind of before she got around to giving me the Zofran. So that was really uncomfortable. I was just really, really nauseous and in a lot of pain. And I think that's really all that really happened in the triage. And then I got sent up to the other floor, and I got into the birthing suite, which I don't think I even took any pictures or really any video of what it looked like, but I should have because it's beautiful in there. So I got there at about 6 o'clock, a little after 6 o'clock, into the birthing room, and my nurse was there, and immediately I asked if I could talk to the anesthesiologist about the whole epidural thing. If you've been following me for a while, we didn't know if I could have an epidural or not due to a back injury. I'll link the video below where I think I talk about that if I can find. I don't remember what week it was. But I just asked to speak to the anesthesiologist as soon as they became available because I wanted to talk about my pain management options. And she told me that the anesthesiologist wasn't going to be there until 7 in the morning, so I'd have to wait until 7 for the anesthesiologist to come. I'm like, alright. At this point, when I got up to the birthing room, my kind of perception of time is gone. So I don't really know at what time certain things happened. I only remember what time I started pushing. But when I got put up there, I think it was maybe like an hour after I was in the birthing room. I ended up, I think my Zofran kind of wore off and I was getting really nauseous again. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to throw up. So I tried to prop myself like up on the bed and to kind of swing my feet around so I could like be sitting and have my feet on the ground for like better leverage to throw up, I guess. So at this specific time, I'm having a contraction, I'm throwing up, and all of a sudden I notice I'm like, I think I'm peeing my pants. That crossed my mind for about 2 seconds, and then I'm like, no, my water's breaking. So my water ended up breaking all over the floor, and it was funny because I didn't really make it on the bed because I was sitting kind of like, you know, with my legs over the side of the bed. It just went everywhere, all over the floor. I am like kind of laughing internally to myself, even though I was like puking and having contraction all at the same time. It was really uncomfortable. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was epic that my water just broke all over the place. I found it really, really humorous. My husband's like, oh my god, he could not believe how much fluid was on the floor. So he goes running out into the hallway and he's like, oh my gosh, her water broke, her water broke. So we had 2 nurses come in and they were like mopping it up and cleaning it up, and I just thought it was kind of funny. So that happened. My water ended up breaking on my own, which I was really excited about and happy that they didn't have to like go in and break my water and whatever. That's when we called my mom to come to the hospital. I think it was like 7:30, 8 in the morning, 9. I don't know. Sometime around there is when my water broke. And then I feel like things progressed kind of fast after that, in my mind at least. The anesthesiologist still hadn't come by at around like 8:30, I think. So the nurse ended up giving me, I think it was called Nubane or Nuvain. I'm not sure. I think it's Nubane. There was a pain medication in my IV. That was fantastic. That kind of held me over until I could have the epidural. It was fantastic. I know a lot of women don't like it. A lot of women do like it. I liked it. It was intense though. Like the moment they put it in, you feel it immediately all in your head. I felt like, whoa, like really woozy, like my head felt heavy. I just felt really medicated, but I liked it because it took like the edge off my contractions. My back labor was horrible. Horrible back labor. So that took like the edge off of that, which was great. It kind of made me a little bit loopy and sleepy, and I just felt kind of like, whoa, I was on a cloud, but I kind of liked it. So I think I slept a little bit, maybe like an hour. I was kind of like dazing in and out. At some point I did have the epidural. I don't remember what time it was. And I still had that medicine in my system, which was really good because I was kind of out of it during the epidural, so I really did not care what was going on, which I think was really good. I remember the epidural was not painful. They were able to place it and it worked, which was great. I was really nervous that they wouldn't be able to do it. I ended up having like a printout of my x-ray results that I had like a long time with my back, which I gave to the anesthesiologist before they placed it, just so he knew like where my injury was, and he placed it a little bit higher. I think he placed it in my L2 and my injury was between like L4 and L5, so he placed it kind of well above that. And I remember the epidural not hurting at all. I think the local anesthetic hurt a little bit, and then I didn't really feel them even putting in. I really had no idea what was going on because I was medicated, which was good. So that was given. I'm not really sure again what time that was. All I know is that it did take the edge off my contractions. My back labor went away completely, which was great. This was a different kind of epidural. I'm not sure what it was called, but I could still move and feel my legs. So I wasn't like completely paralyzed. They did have to put a catheter in, obviously. But at one point, I remember feeling, I could feel the contractions like inside, deep, down like in my pelvis, in like, you know, my lady area. I felt intense like pressure and like a really weird pain with each contraction, but it wasn't like a contraction, it was like pressure. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think this is like me having to push. So the nurse ended up checking me, and I think at this point I was like 9.5 to 10, and it was about like 11:30, maybe 11:30. So I feel like once I got admitted into the birthing suite, my labor finally progressed pretty fast when it started into active labor. So she's like, okay, we can actually have you start pushing. I have to get the doctor in first just to like clear you. I'm not sure. I guess the doctor has to like give you permission to start pushing. I'm not exactly sure. But the doctor was in with another patient who was progressed further than me. So it took him about 45 minutes to come in, which was horrible because I couldn't push. And I felt this really huge desire that I needed to push, but I couldn't. She told me to breathe through it, which is the absolute worst. Like, you just feel like you need to push and you need to like do something, and to like breathe through each contraction when you're feeling like that is miserable. And I was like almost crying. It was bad. But finally the doctor came in, he checked me, and I actually had like a second bag of water. It's called something, I'm not sure. So he had to go in and break like my second bag of water, and there was meconium in it. So he told me, he's like, oh, you have some meconium, and I was really upset and I was crying because I had a really close friend. Her baby had meconium and had to stay in the NICU for like 5 days, and that was just like horrible. So when he told me I had meconium, I was really upset. And he's like, we're going to have the NICU team come in when you deliver just to make sure the baby's okay. So I couldn't have like skin to skin right away. The baby would have to be like immediately taken over and be checked out by the NICU team, which I was upset about that. But at the same time, I was in active labor, so I was kind of like in a different mindset. It's really weird. You kind of zone out. You're kind of like in your own little world. It was really weird. So anyway, he gave me the clear I could start pushing. I ended up pushing for 3 hours. It was horrible with my back labor, my back pain. It was horrible, let me tell you. I was so hot. I ended up taking off my gown, my hospital gown, so I was pretty much naked laying there pushing for 3 hours. My mom was there. I was so hot. The entire 3 hours, she was awesome. She was fanning me with like, I don't even know what it was. Some like plastic, like, menu. My husband just yelled. It was like the menu, like that you order food from the hospital. So she's fanning me for 3 hours with this menu. My husband is like trying everything he can to support me. He was amazing. He ended up like, when I was pushing with each push, he would like help me lift up my body because I was exhausted because I hadn't slept in about 2 days. I was exhausted. It was so bad. Like, they wanted me to do different laboring positions. They wanted me to like get on all knees and like push that way a little bit, and it wasn't happening. I was like so weak. I I can't even like explain how horrible it was pushing for 3 hours. So I'm just gonna not even go there because it was horrible.
Big breath in and push toward all that pressure. Push, 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 push.
You can do it, babe.
Right down here. Let me see some baby's hair. Let's go, 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 go. Come on, push again.
Push again.
Push, push, push. That's it. Just like that. Just like that. Perfect, perfect. I can start to see some hair. Come on.
Oh yeah,
push,
babe.
Push, push. Get mad. Get mad.
Get mad.
Show him. Go, 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 go. Good job.
I was frustrated because I felt like with all of that pressure and pain that I was feeling before, that I was like gonna push like 3 times and it was gonna come out, which I think the nurse should have prepared me that I was going to be pushing for a while and that it was a process. So that was kind of frustrating, but I ended up having him and it was amazing. I think I delivered at 2:52. I started pushing at noon, so almost 3 hours of pushing, which was intense. My husband ended up watching everything happen, which he wasn't going to. He was very set that he was going to stay up on my head, but he ended up watching. He said it was amazing watching him come out, and he did come out. They kind of whisked him right away to the NICU, not to the NICU, but like over to the NICU team, and they checked him out, and he was fine. I think he was over there for a couple minutes while the doctor was finishing up with me.
Hey little buddy, look at your daddy.
Oh,
he's got little bubbles.
Oh no, bubbles. That's it. Good boy.
I didn't even have to push out the placenta. The doctor kind of just pushed on my belly and I guess it just kind of came out. I don't know, but I didn't have to push and that wasn't like bad at all. It kind of just slid out. Really weird. And I only had a very, very slight tear. He said it maybe didn't even need a stitch, but he was just going to do it anyway because I guess like things are still numb down there right after you deliver, so it's a lot easier for them to give you the stitch like then than it is to do it later if you need it. So he ended up stitching me up. I felt everything. The epidural, she did turn it down at one point to help me like kind of figure out when to push with each contraction. So I felt everything. Even with the epidural, did feel the burning ring of fire, which I was told about. I felt that. So yeah, baby was born, and then I have a clip that I'll put in here of when he was placed on my chest for the first time. That was really, really crazy and awesome and amazing, and I cannot believe that he's here.
Hi. Hi. Oh my gosh.
God, he's so.
Oh my god.
He's so adorable. Look at him. He's looking right at you. He doesn't like the flash.
Oh.
Oh, little buddy.
Oh. Oh.
Shaking's normal, sweetie. That's just part of your body's recovery.
Hi.
Hi, little buddy. Hello, world.
I remember saying to you right after he was born, like right after he was out, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that's over. I never want to do that again. And everyone starts laughing, like all the nurses and everything. And they're like, yeah, we'll see you in 2 years, 2 or 3 years when you have your second baby. I'm like, yeah, probably. But yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. I will talk about the rest, I guess, the hospital stay, and then his 1 week update and my 1 week update. I'm probably going to film it right after this because I have time because he's chilling with my husband right now, so I will probably just film that now. But that's it for my labor delivery story. It was an intense and crazy process, almost like 42 hours of labor if you count when I started my contractions. About, I think, like 13 hours of active labor. Yeah, crazy experience, and I couldn't be happier that it's over with and that I have my little boy here, and he's fantastic and amazing, and I am overwhelmed with how much love that I feel for him right now. I'm going to start crying. So that's it, guys. I didn't get around yet to responding to all your comments on my Meet David video, but thank you so much for all your comments and all your congratulations. I'm going to try to get around to responding to those comments sometime soon. And look out for more videos because I'm not going anywhere, and I hope you guys stick around and watch the journey of me being a mom. So I will see you guys later. Bye!